The Orbea Kemen, a lightweight, powerful SUV that can take you across the earth. Find out how. Hi folks, I'm Jason and welcome to ebike-centre. So, the Orbea? Cut this and start again. Hi folks, I'm Jason and welcome to ebike-centre. So, the Orbea Kemen SUV. Like its four-wheeled cousins, it's a sports utility vehicle. It's your do-it-all bike for a do-it-all person. It's your weekend mountain bike, it's your weekday commuter bike, it's your commute bike to school, and it's also your all-round workhorse. So the Orbea Kemen SUV also comes in a standard version, which is essentially its urban cousin, but today we're focusing on the SUV version. So in the SUV version, there are two specs. There's the 30 and the 10. The 10 being the highest spec, the 30 is the lower spec. They also come in a mid-frame as well as a crossbar. There are three colours, which are Mango, Midnight Black and Urban Green, and they come in the usual four frame sizes as well. Moving on to the electronics, it's fitted with the Shimano EP8 motor. Unlike the Uran and the Orbea Rise, which are fitted with the RS Tune version, this is fitted with the standard 85 Nm Shimano motor instead, which is obviously going to give you that extra 25 Nm of torque to help you carrying more loads, up bigger, steeper hills. This isn't a lifelike feel mountain bike like those like the Uran and the Rise, but it's going to give you the motor power when you need it instead. It's fitted with the same 540 watt-hour battery, which is integrated inside the frame. It is non-removable, but that does save weight. So the Kemen comes in the low 20s, whereas the equivalent removable battery bike from, say, Trek Specialized is going to be sort of more towards the mid-20 category. It's also got the option of a 250 watt-hour range extender, so if you did find the 540 watt-hour battery a bit restrictive, there is that additional power available to you as well. So the 30 version of the bike is fitted with the Marzocchi Z2 100mm forks, and the 10 version is fitted with the Fox 34s. Both are fitted with Magura brakes, and both are fitted with a 27 kilo rack. Both versions of the SUV are fitted with mudguards, kickstands, pannier racks and lights. They also have daytime running lights integrated as well, which can be operated with a simple push of a button. There's also the option of a high beam and a low beam with that light as well. The 30 is fitted with 10-speed Shimano Dior, but it's running the Link Glide cassette, and the 10 version is fitted with the 12-speed, again Link Glide cassette, but this time it's got the XT derailleur system on the back. And both bikes are shod with Johnny Watts Shorby tyres. So who's this bike for? Well, to be honest with you, it's for pretty much anyone. So it's for that person that, I don't know, they need to commute to work, but they have to go across some gravel and some mud. It means they can't use a normal bike, but this one suits them perfectly. You've got your mud guards, keeps you dry, but you've got powerful motor, you've got good chunky tyres to keep you grippy as you go through those muddy patches. It's also for the, let's say the person who wants to go out exploring and trekking at the weekend. They've got a mountain bike that's great fun, but they can chuck all their stuff on the back. If they've got a tent, if they've got sleeping bags or water to carry, whatever it might be, that rack's perfectly equipped to take plenty of cargo and take you trekking wherever you want to go. If you just want to have a mountain bike with mudguards, it's another great bike. You don't need to have a fancier bike than this. It's suited for that purpose perfectly. As I said before, you can also use it to take your child to school on the back because it's got that 27 kilo rack, which you can integrate with a child seat. It's also a city commuter. I know it's got slightly knobblier tyres on it than the standard version, but it doesn't make a great deal of difference. You've got that great big powerful motor in there, so any extra drag from those tyres doesn't really matter at all. Also, it's just a great looking bike. It's got really nice sleek frame design, it's got some great colours, it's lightweight, it's very minimalist in its setup. It's a typically great looking bike from Orbea. So I had this bike for a week and I took it on 2 mountain bike rides. I commuted every day across country as well as road to work on that one, and I also managed to take my daughter out once on it to school. It did unfortunately rain, however she still very much enjoyed it. How did it do on all those factors? Well, it passed them all with flying colours if I'm being honest. It was a great bike to ride. I really enjoyed it. It felt very much like my hardtail that I ride every day, but it was a bit more practical. I came to work and I wasn't absolutely caked in mud, which was a real plus point, rather than having to scrape off all the mud from my legs and stuff before I get ready for work. In terms of fitting the rack on the back, because it's got an MIK system, fitting my child seat on there was really, really easy indeed. And it was great fun to take my daughter on the back. She really, really enjoyed it. Going on to how it was as a mountain bike, yeah, it coped really, really well. It's not going to be, if someone who's got a full suspension, Orbea or a Trek or a Specialized, whatever it might be, it's not going to be up to that sort of standard. But someone who does general cross-country riding on it, it's a really good, really neat handling bike. The geometry is really comfortable. It's very nimble, and the spec, to be fair to it, for the price point, okay, $3,599 is the base level, but you get a pretty good spec for that. Bikes from other brands at that price point, you won't get air-sprung forks for starters. You certainly won't get link glide system on the back. You get the 85 Nm motor and a 540 watt-hour battery. Yeah, it's not cheap. No e-bike really is cheap these days, but I'd say for the money versus the competition, it's a pretty well-spec bike. So what one thing did I like the most about it? Well, this is gonna seem really, really trivial, but to be honest with you, the thing I liked the most about it to start with was the color. It's bright yellow. Like, how many bright yellow bikes do you see these days? Like, yellow is my favorite color, so I'm hugely biased, but most bikes come in black or various shades of gray or dark greens and blues. It's really nice to see Orbea taking the risk with a really punchy color. For those that don't like such a bright color, there is obviously the standard black option is there, and the green itself is a pretty low key, but still quite a funky color to be had as well. But more seriously, the thing I was most impressed by with the bike was its versatility. It really is a bike that you can use for any occasion. You can't use it if you're going to take it to Bike Park Wales, for instance, but that's pretty much where its limitations stop. For everything else that you need a bike for, it ticks the boxes perfectly. If I was to say there was one criticism of it, the battery is non-removable. That's not going to bother everyone. For lots of people, the fact that it comes in a much smaller, sleeker package and the bike's a lot lighter is worth that trade-off of the fact that you can't take the battery out. But for some, if you can't take the bike to a power source, then it's going to be a little bit of an issue. You don't want to be running great big extension cables out your window to your bike. So for some, it might not work, but for those where that isn't a factor at all, I'd say it's certainly a trade-off that's worth having. One thing I didn't expect to like so much about this bike was its mid-step frame. So once we'd put my daughter on the back, actually I'd never really thought about the fact that you can't throw your leg over if you've got cargo on the back. So actually that was really, really helpful. And for this style of bike, it makes me question if it's really worth having a crossbar there at all. Apart from the aesthetic side of it, which actually the crossbar I don't think looks a great deal better than this anyway. I would stagger to see why you wouldn't want the stagger. So what did I think of it? Well, I loved it. I thought everything about it was fantastic. It'd been really well thought through. It rides fantastically. It's also really, really usable. To the extent I am actually considering getting one for the family so that both my wife and I can share it. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so we can get away with sharing the same frame. But for both of us to be able to use it, we can use it both as a commuter bike and also for dropping our daughter off to school. It seems like a really good option to us, so it's something that we might well have in the house fairly soon. So should you buy one? Well, if you like what you've heard so far and think it ticks a lot of the boxes that you need for an e-bike, well, please come on down and try one. We've got several in stock in different sizes and colors, and we'd love to see you and let you try out and see for yourself. Thank you very much for watching this video. If there's anything about the bike that maybe I've missed or something that you think might be worth bringing to our attention, please leave a comment below. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And if you could ring that notification bell so you can see more of our content, we'd really appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching. Cheers.